Hi, this is Hermilia B. Gratuito. Our lesson for today is all about simple verb tenses. What is verb tense? Tense means time. It is a tool, or these are tools that English speakers use to express time in their language. It tells us when an action happened. So we have the past, the present, and the future. The three basic times when verbs can take place are, first, past. The key word is yesterday. So for example, Sam played blocks. The action is done in the past. So this is past tense. The second time is present. The key word is today. Example, the children play. The action play happens today or every day. This is in the present tense. The third time is future. The key word is tomorrow. So for example, she will play with her doll. The action will be done in the future. Will play. So this is future tense. So let's start with the basic or simple past tense. Simple past tense talk about a completed action in a time before now. The time of the action can be in the recent past or the distant past, and action duration is not important. Simple past tense is associated with certain past time expressions. For example, a definite point in time. So, example for this is, yesterday, I arrived in Geneva. The word arrive is the past tense of the verb, and then it has a definite point in time, which is yesterday. It is also associated with frequency. So for example, I sometimes walk home at lunchtime. The word sometimes indicates frequency. Simple past tense is also associated with an indefinite point in time. So for example, he played the piano when he was a child. The indefinite point in time is when he was a child. Okay. The following are the uses of simple past tense. Use 1. It is used in the completed action in the past. How? This is to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. So we have an example. We spent a lot of time in Japan in 2007. Use 2. It is used in a series of completed actions. Like there is a list, series of completed action in the past. So for example, I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a new place to swim. The word finished, walk, and found is the series of completed actions, which is in the past. Use 3. It is used to express duration in the past. It can be used with a duration which starts and stops in the past. A duration is a longer action often indicated by expressions such as for 2 years, for 5 minutes, all day, all year, etc., etc. Okay, so we have an example. I loved him for ages, but never told him. If you can see, the word loved has d, which is past tense, and it is helped by the duration in the past for ages. Use for, it is used in the habits in the past. Used to describe a habit which stopped in the past. It has the same meaning as used to. It is always associated with expressions such as always, often, usually, never, when I was a child, when I was younger, and etc., etc. Okay, so example. Did you play a musical instrument when you were a kid? Use 5. Past simple tense is used for past facts or generalizations. This is used to describe past facts or generalizations which are no longer true. So, example, she was shy as a child, but now she's very outgoing. Forming the simple past tense. Remember, the verbs has regular verbs and irregular verbs in the past tense. So, I would like to present to you the patterns of simple past tense for regular verbs first. Okay, for the affirmative, we have the pattern subject plus verb with D or ED. So, example, she smiled. The word smile has D. In the negative, we have the pattern subject plus did not plus infinitive without to. Example, they didn't go. They is the subject, didn't is the negative for did not, and go is the verb or infinitive verb. Okay? For the interrogative, we have the pattern did plus subject plus infinitive without to. So, example, did she arrive? If you can notice, did comes first, and then the subject she, and then the infinitive verb without to, arrive. Okay. Interrogative, negative. So we have the pattern did not plus the subject plus the infinitive without to. So we have an example. Didn't you play? Didn't is the shortcut of the phrase did not. This is in the interrogative negative because it is in question form. You is the subject and then play is the infinitive without to. Forming simple past in the irregular verbs, sometimes it follows also the previous pattern as I have discussed, but the verbs sometimes changes in spelling. Like for example, we have this: see, saw, build, built, go, went, do, did, leap, leaped, rise, rose, dig, dug. So, example, we gave her a doll for her birthday. The pattern is subject plus verb in the irregular form. The next is sometimes the verbs don't change from their present form. So we have, like, for example, put, design, put, cut, cut, set, set, coast, coast, hit, hit. So I would like to present to you an example for this. Did you set the table? So it follows the previous pattern that I have presented, but the word or the verb has retained its original spelling. This is again a regular verb. Let's go to the simple present tense. This is the one which we use when an action is happening right now, or when it happens regularly or unceasingly. The following are the usage. So first, it is used for repeated actions. To express the idea that an action is repeated or usual, and changing situations, emotions, and wishes. It is also used under the repeated actions, that the action that can be a habit, a hobby, a daily event, a scheduled event, or something that often happens. Again, under repeated actions, the present tense can also be something a person often forgets or usually does not do. So we have this, an example for repeated action. She only eats fish. The second usage for simple present tense is for facts or generalizations. How will it be used? The speaker believes that a fact was true before, is true now, and will be true in the future. It makes generalization about people or things. So example, water freezes at 0 degrees. So this is a universal truth, and this is generalization. Use 3. Simple present tense is used for scheduled events in the near future. It is used to talk about scheduled events in the near future, to express fixed arrangements, present or future. So we have an example. The train leaves tonight at 6 p.m. When will the train leave? Tonight at 6 p.m. But if you notice, the verb is in the present form because this is a scheduled event. The fourth usage for a simple present tense is to give instructions or directions. So, you walk for 200 meters, then you turn left. The fifth usage is to express future time after some conjunctions like after, when, before, as soon as, until. He'll give it to you when you come next Saturday. Next Saturday is the future time. Forming the simple present. Simple present tense with be. Okay? So the first person, we have an example, I am. Second person, you are. Third person singular, he, she, it, and the verb is in the verb to be. Third person plural, we have example, we are. Are is in the plural form, in the third person. Okay. In the question form of the present simple with verb to be. First person, am I? Second person, are you? Third person, is he, she, it? Third person plural, are we, they? If you notice, the verb to be comes first in the question form. We have the following pattern in the present simple tense with other verbs. Okay? The first one, for the first person, I play. Second person, you play. Third person singular, he, she, it plays. If you notice, there is now a verb. There is now an S in the verb. This is especially true in the third person singular. Third person plural, we, they, play. It doesn't have an S. Question form of the present simple tense with verb to do. First person, do I play? Second person, do you play? Third person, does he, she, it play? The verb play does not have an S because it is with the verb to do. Third person plural, do we, they, play? Remember, it is only in the third person singular for verb that the verb has S on it in the simple present tense. Okay, let's go to simple future tense. What is simple future tense? This refers to a time later than now and expresses facts or certainty. We have the usage. Number 1, it is used to predict a future event. It will rain tomorrow. Will rain. It is used with I or we to express a spontaneous decision. I'll pay for the tickets by credit card. The simple future tense is used to express willingness. Example, he'll carry your bag for you. This is a continuation of the usage of simple future tense. Use for. It is used in the negative form to express unwillingness. The baby won't eat his soup. Won't eat. So, unwillingness. Use 5. It is used with I in the interrogative form using shall to make an offer. Shall I open the window? Usage 6. It is used with we in the interrogative form using shall to make suggestion. Shall we go to the cinema tonight? Continuation of the usage of simple future tense. Use 7. It is used with I in the interrogative form using shall to ask for advice or instructions. What shall I tell the boss about this money? Usage 8. It is used with you to give orders. You will do exactly as I say. Or else, I don't know. This is giving orders. Use 9. It is used with you in the interrogative form to give an invitation. For example, will you marry me? So, the verb in the future tense, marry, is with the word will. This is in the future tense, to give an invitation. Forming the simple future. Okay, we have 4 rows for the affirmative. The pattern is will or shall plus root form of verb. If we are going to use going to, am, is, are plus going to plus root form of the verb. So I'll say, here is an example for the first person. I will or shall see. In the second person affirmative, you will, shall see. Third person singular, he will see. Third person plural, we will or shall see. And if we will use they, the third person, they will see. This is all in the affirmative. So in the negative, we have the pattern will plus not plus root form. If we are going to use going to, the pattern is am, is, are plus not plus going to plus root form. So for the first person, you will say, I won't see. Second person, example, you won't see. Third person, he won't see. Third person plural, we won't see. And then if we will use the pronoun they won't see. These are all in the negative form. If we would like to make a question, or if we would like to use the simple future tense in the interrogative, the pattern is will plus subject plus root form. And in the going to is am, is, are plus subject plus going to plus root form. So we have the first person example, will, shall I see? Second person, will you see? Third person singular, will he see? Third person plural, will, shall we see? And if we will use they, will they see? In the interrogative negative, the pattern is want plus subject plus root form of verb. Okay? We don't have this in the going to, but we have the first person, won't I see? For the second person, won't you see? For the third person singular, won't he see? For the third person plural, won't we see? And if we will be using they, won't they see? Okay. Let us take note that shall is dated, but it is still commonly used instead of will, with the affirmative or interrogative forms of I and we in certain cases. In modern English, will is preferred to shall. Shall is mainly used with I and we to make an offer or suggestion or to ask for advice. With the other persons like you, he, she, they, shall is only used in literary or poetic situations. Example, with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, she shall have music wherever she goes. How to use the simple future with will, shall, and be going to. Let's take up first will, okay? Will is used to predict the future and for future facts and for things that are less certain. Example, the sun will rise at 7 a.m. Will is also used in the future tense for promises, requests, refusals, offers, especially volitional will. It's about wanting to do something or not wanting to do something in the future. So we have an example. I'll help you with your homework. Okay, this is a continuation of how we shall use will in the simple future tense. We use will when we're talking about a decision at the moment of speaking, or when we are usually making an offer or promise, or talking about something that we want to do. Like for example, I'm cold. I'll close the window. Will can also be used in the first conditional and in other sentences that have a conditional feeling. If it doesn't rain, we'll go to the park. Okay? When shall we use shall in the future tense? Shall is used mainly in the forms shall I and shall we. Shall I open the window? This means, do you want me to open the window? Okay. It is also used when you want to get someone's opinion, especially for offers and suggestions. Where shall we go tonight? This means, what's your opinion? Be going to also express in the simple future tense. It is used, or we often use be going to talk about our future intentions and plans. We have usually made our plans before the moment of speaking. For example, we've run out of milk. I know I'm going to buy some. We can also use be going to make a prediction about the future. Often it's possible to use both be going to and will, but it's more common to use be going to if we can see evidence in the present. So, the sky is getting darker and darker. It's going to rain. So this one is the series, the simple tenses of verb. Coming soon will be other tenses of verbs. So again, this is Hermelia B. Gratuito. Thank you and see you